A few days ago, I saw a video done by Sophia Lee Blogging where she essentially shared all of her unpopular opinions regarding blogging, being a blogger, growing as a blogger, from the perspective of a blogger who has been around for years and years and years, who has also turned her blog into a seven-figure business. And I thought that concept was so genius, and I decided to make my own version of that video in regards to YouTube, YouTubing, being a YouTuber, growing a YouTube channel, and all those things. I definitely have not been on YouTube as long as Sophia has had her blog. I definitely have not turned my channel into a seven-figure business, but I have been around YouTube for about 6-ish years now, and I have multiple six-figure years under my belt. So here is my version of possibly surprising or unsurprising unpopular opinions about YouTube and YouTubers. The first really unpopular opinion that I have regarding YouTube and YouTubers is that I feel a lot of YouTubers tend to blame the algorithm a little bit too much. Now, definitely do not get me wrong, there are definitely any number of holes in the algorithm. It is definitely not a perfect machine or system. There are any number of things the algorithm is in fact doing that is hurting creators and our channels and the platform, especially right now with things like prioritizing short form content. And there are also a lot of things the algorithm has pretty much always done that really frustrates and annoys creators, like how when you upload a new video to YouTube, YouTube does not notify nor put your video in front of every single one of your subscribers. It's only going to show your new upload to a certain amount of your most active audience, which is a real struggle for creators because at that point, in that case, you are not reaching your entire audience. But there are other times where your video just doesn't perform as you wanted it to. It doesn't get the views that you hoped it would, either because the topic of that video just did not interest your audience, or because the thumbnail and or the title of that video just did not grab your viewers' attention, or some other times the actual content of that video did not hold viewers' attention long enough for a decent audience retention rate. And in any one of those cases, the algorithm cannot be blamed. My views on my own channel right now are so much lower than they were 2 years ago, mostly because I grew my entire channel off of videos all about how to get views and subscribers on YouTube. And then once I began to shift and expand my content into talking about other things I'm equally passionate about, things that I want to share with my audience, that's when my audience began to be a lot less interested in those videos, and that's why my videos now get a lot less views. But that is not something that I can blame the algorithm for, that's not something I can blame my audience for, that's a me problem. There are so many creators on YouTube who were wildly famous and popular back in the colorful lifestyle girl era, who have since lost a ton of subscribers or don't get the views and or the revenue they used to on YouTube, and they will publicly and with their entire chest blame the algorithm for all of that. When the honest to God truth is that those creators are normal, everyday people like the rest of us, and it is totally normal for people to move on from your channel and your content because they're going to evolve as you evolve and your content evolves. So my very first unpopular opinion regarding YouTube and YouTubers for this video is that I think as a whole, creators put way too much blame on the algorithm, even though it does have its faults and its holes. This one is not going to be all that surprising if you followed me for any length of time, but in my personal opinion, not only for YouTube but social media as a whole, I truly believe that short form content is and will continue to destroy every single social media platform. This could honestly be an entire video onto its own, but I think that TikTok, being the short form content platform, was something new and unique and different that no other social media platform was doing at the time, which I think was and still is really great for anybody who wants to be creating or consuming short form content. However, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, all those other social media platforms really losing the essence of what they're known for just to try and compete with TikTok is going to kill every one of those platforms. Instagram was always the photo sharing platform. Pinterest was always the get inspired and blog post sharing platform. Facebook is where you would update your status, post pictures of your vacation, share an update about your family. And now every single one of those platforms is not only including short form content, it's prioritizing short form content over the content they're known for, and people go onto their platform to consume or create. So now you have TikToks on TikTok, but you also have TikToks on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, everywhere you look. I swear one morning we are going to wake up and see that even Netflix now has short form content because it's literally taking over the digital space. I really truly think that within the next about 5 to 10 years, every single platform that we love as creators is totally going to lose its essence, and really just become one more TikTok knockoff. And as a creator who does not enjoy creating nor consuming short form content, it really is exhausting and frustrating. Now for another opinion that is probably very, very, very unpopular, sponsored content does not bother me even a little bit. And I think that definitely the argument could be made that I'm a creator myself, so I definitely do see it a little bit differently than the average viewer or follower does. But even just looking back on being a viewer before I ever made my own channel, sponsored content just never really bothered me all that much. When I'm watching a YouTube video or scrolling through my feed on Instagram, when I see a sponsored post or video, I just get it. From a creator perspective, AdSense pays YouTubers literal dirt. When it comes to affiliate income, there are going to be lower seasons where your income is really, really low. Whereas on top of all those other income streams and ways that creators make money, sponsored content pays really, really well. So if every now and again a YouTube creator or Instagram creator has to do a sponsored post or video once a month to earn a living, then I really don't think it's that big a deal as long as their channel or their Instagram does not become an ad space where every single post is sponsored. As a whole, I just really respect the hustle. I respect other creators being out here building themselves a life and a future. So whenever I see sponsored content, it really doesn't bother me as much as I think it does other people. Sort of going along with that last one, I know this is really, really unpopular, but I really do think that doing YouTube for the money is completely and totally valid. For as long as YouTube has been around, for as long as AdSense and monetization has been around, as long as making money on YouTube has been around, I have seen so many creators telling other people, don't start YouTube for the money, don't do YouTube for the money, don't expect to be able to make money on YouTube, because if you do, you're just not going to succeed. And I absolutely hate hearing that. For me personally, I first began taking my channel really seriously after I dropped out of college, when I was at an all-time low in my life, really, really depressed. Most mornings I didn't even want to wake up or get out of bed. I had no plans, no income, no nothing, and I was really fortunate at the time that I was still living at home, didn't have to worry about any of that. But I do know as a creator in this industry that a lot of people turned to YouTube and social media as a whole during the pandemic because a lot of people were out of work, a lot of people suddenly had no income, people had bills to pay, mortgages to pay, kids to care for. And personally, I think that is 100% valid and there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can still absolutely love YouTube and be so passionate about creating YouTube videos, but know that if there was no payoff, if there was no income coming your way, there was no way you could make money off your content, that you would put slightly less time and energy into it because there is so much that gets invested and put into running a channel and growing a channel and succeeding on YouTube, and often for a lot of creators with little to no return on investment. So personally, I think that people who do YouTube for the money or with that monthly paycheck in mind should not be judged as much as they are for it. And I think if you don't do YouTube for the money, that does not give you free license to judge other people who do. Now here we go with a super unpopular opinion that I see everybody saying the complete opposite of, and that is that SEO as a growth method and a way of growing on YouTube is never going out of style and will always be a great way of reaching your audience and growing your channel. Now definitely do not get me wrong here either. SEO, ranking in search, getting views from YouTube search, that is still definitely not the fastest way to grow your audience or get views to your videos. Nor should it be your #1 priority unless it's really working for you. However, if YouTube is part of how you reach new customers for your business, how you spread information with potential new audience members, and especially if you want your YouTube channel to be making you passive income every single month and every single year, no matter how little or how much, SEO should not be ignored. Case in point, a video that I uploaded literally back in 2020, 3 years ago, that video alone has made me over $500 in 2023 since the beginning of the new year. Not my highest performing video of the year, not the video that has brought me the most views this year or the most growth this year or the most money this year, but it is still an active video on YouTube. It's still a video that people are discovering in search every single day. It's still a video that is actively bringing people onto my channel, helping people to discover my content, making me a little bit of passive income, and none of that would be possible without SEO and optimizing my videos to rank in search. So that is why even though SEO is not my primary focus, it's not the #1 traffic source on YouTube I'm targeting or focusing on, I still include SEO and optimizing my videos as part of my routine every single time I upload a new video to YouTube, because time and time again, never fails, every single time, it's gonna come with a payoff and passive views and income. Anybody who tells you that SEO is no longer relevant, SEO no longer matters, it's not something you should be focused on anymore, they are literally telling you that the #1 one thing YouTube does and is known for no longer matters. It would kind of be like saying that posting pictures on Instagram is no longer relevant because of Reels, or that listening to music on Spotify is no longer all that important because podcasts are taking over. YouTube is never not going to be a video search engine, and for that reason, SEO will always be relevant. And for the very last unpopular opinion for this video, I think there are certain people on YouTube who should not be giving YouTube advice. In most cases, 99.9% of people who are making videos about how to grow on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or a blog, usually those are people who have grown and built their businesses and their success from the ground up and should absolutely take credit for all of it. However, there are some people who make videos all about how I turned my YouTube channel into $1 million business, or how I grew my channel from 0 to 10 million subscribers. And most of those creators and those people are usually going to give you those same silly little tips that really don't amount to anything, really don't help you, really don't give you all the goods and the insider tips, mostly because the only way they really grew their YouTube channel is because they funneled their followers or their subscribers from TikTok or Instagram or somewhere else where they already had a massive audience. Or in some other cases, they're creators like Mr. Beast or David Dobrik who gained their following because of their over-the-top super crazy videos that, unfortunately, because most of us are not as rich as those guys, cannot make videos on that level. And that is definitely not to say that any of those people in any one of those situations are any less deserving of their success or their income or their audiences. They just shouldn't be positioning themselves to give any kind of advice to somebody growing from the ground up, starting at 0, somebody who is not already famous, doesn't already have an audience somewhere else, because in those cases, those people have no idea how to grow from the ground up because their popularity and their fame did it for them. So that is my last and final little unpopular opinion about YouTube and YouTubers. So that, you guys, is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, hope you found it interesting in some way, shape, or form. If you guys want to see any more videos on how to build, grow, and monetize your YouTube videos, here are 2 more of my videos that YouTube thinks you will love.